I didn't plan it, I didn't seek it, but I have a Deathwing army now. I'm doing something different this week. This is a showcase of an army I threw together over the past couple of weeks, and I just want to talk about why I made it and what I love about it. So, I'm a hobby magpie, I freely admit it. If something looks cool, be it shiny new or in a cheap lot on eBay, I'm gonna grab it. Thus they sat within my pile of shame until a few weeks ago, just gathering dust. When 10th Ed was announced and I saw the new Terminators, it lit a fire under me. The new models look great and reminded me just how much I love Terminators. I have several units of them for my Ultramarines, and in previous videos I have been painting up some classic 2nd Ed ones for my old Hammer Blood Angels. But it was the renewed focus on Dark Angels by G-Dubs recently that reminded me of all the Deathwing Terminators I had lurking about, and the light coloured armour just looks so good. Originally, my plan was to find a way to speed paint 2000 points of Primaris White Scars, and I made a video where I tested out a system of alternating layering and dry brushing on some Deathwing, and you can find that video on this channel. But getting that bone armour looking so good made me want to paint the rest, and that quickly led to the realisation that I could easily put a small army together. So let's take a look at what I did. GW did a made to order a few months back where I grabbed the old Metal Librarian in Terminator armour. Not the old one that I have for my Blood Angels, nor the old one which I'm itching to get my hands on. No, 'tis this dude. I got him because, hello, hobby magpie, but I had no idea which chapter I would paint him up for. Well, I needed an HQ in Terminator armour, and so that decision was made for me. I chose to give him pretty much the same colour scheme as the rest of the Deathwing, but I painted his shoulder pads in the familiar Librarius blue. I love this sculpt, and I chose the combi plasma weapon for him, because these gloomy boys do love them some plasma guns. The Ancient, on the other hand, was a kit bash from leftover parts after building the rest of the army. I gave him a pair of snazzy lightning claws because I want him in the thick of the fight, supporting the Deathwing Knights and buffing him up to give them some more punch in melee. The Knights look so cool. I grabbed the Deathwing box years ago and built them up as Knights, with the rest of the kit going to glow up the rest of the Terminators. These storm shields are so awesome. The size of them is far more in keeping with the type of shield a Terminator should carry, and that improved invulnerable save and armor boost will ensure that they can tank anything thrown at them. The maces and Sergeant's flail also sing to my old gothic heart. What's more gothic than twatting something to a pulp with a sensor? Lastly, my regular Deathwing Termies, as if calling them regular is appropriate. I went for a more traditional Terminator loadout for this 10-man unit. With the Knights being melee focused, I wanted to use that tactical flexibility of lots of shooting with the punch of power fists and chain fists. I do love a cyclone missile launcher, and the unit was crying out for an assault cannon, because it's Deathwing. I don't know what 10th Ed holds in store regarding combat doctrines, but this is a unit that can make good use of all three of them. What we know of 10th Ed at the moment is that you can take an HQ and any 3 units from another specialty without penalty, meaning that this army is already game legal from what I understand. With the rules and the indexes from 10th, I have an army I can play with immediately without having to do any work on the minis in the starter box, so I can be getting my head around the new rules before I even clip anything off the sprues, and that is pretty sweet. So that was my Accidental Deathwing army. I hope my waffle didn't put anyone off from the pretty pictures, but yeah, a whole army painted in just a couple of weeks. Before I sign off, I'd just like to ask you to click a like for the vid, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you feel someone else will enjoy this video, do send them a link. I am Autumn Witch, and I will catch you next time on Bleeding Tree Gaming.